Let's take a look at Diamond Trust Bank's results out there. The profits are up 17%. What is the bank's biggest revenue stream right now?
Basically, from what you're getting, I mean, in terms of what the results are, we're able to see that the banking industry is actually, in Kenya doing well in terms of sustaining against the economic downturn. Being able to actually increase customer deposit base, they're able to reduce the cost for running. So we're able to see that the banking industry is actually, the results are better than what most of us analysts had expected.
Now, we know that the bank is receiving a $25 million loan from the World Bank. Would you say how much of that loan is actually helping the bank do well?
What I know is what's been happening in the market is that the issues of liquidity and foreign exchange reserves have been an issue for central bank and other commercial banks. In terms of details of how the money will actually be able to help the banking industry and especially the bank, we're not really privy to it. But what I know is they're supposed to show up the reserves and help reduce down the rates. And since the central bank was actually able to change on how we're looking at our inflation rates in this country to a new system, I'm thinking basically to develop a cushion against how the economy has been.
Well, part of the World Bank loan was to finance its expansion plans. How are its operations in countries like Uganda, Tanzania, and Burundi faring?
Okay, come again.
The expansion plans, but the loan was part of their expansion plans. Take us through how the bank is faring in countries like Uganda, Tanzania, and Burundi.
When you bring in the other countries of Uganda and Burundi, basically the equation actually lies to the East African Cooperation. And in terms of expansion, in terms of infrastructure development, and being able to actually harmonize the legislation to be able to harmonize basic factors like tax issues and basically cross-border business in terms of how we are basically being able to to relate in terms of construction of railway line, better oil pipeline and roads construction infrastructure. So basically, but most of this will actually depend on how fast the East African Cooperation harmonization process will actually be done.
Well, earnings per share rose to about 4.96 shilling from 4.45. Do you think that the bank can sustain this?
Yes, the bank will actually be able to sustain this. One, because they're actually having new strategies in terms of being able to get more customer base. They're targeting a particular market segment. And I believe that the expansion of the branch network and, developing of partnerships with various construction companies and development partners in this country will actually see it being able to sustain this in the coming quarter.
Well, what's the outlook, would you say, for Diamond Trust Bank going forward?
Diamond Trust Bank, basically, it's actually, when you look at how the banking industry has been, when you're looking at Equity Cooperative Bank and Kenya Commercial Bank, Diamond Trust has actually been able to develop a niche, especially with the businesses in export and manufacturing. And the outlook for it, especially in this coming quarter, when actually many companies are restructuring the budget in terms of cost production, I see the bank being able to grow, especially being able to open more branches where most of the clients are actually based. So the outlook for it is good, and they should be able to increase the business output by at least 7% in the coming quarter.